It is August the 12th, 2019, and welcome to another Brooklyn Baritone podcast. For those of you who can see, usually on YouTube or possibly my website, I don't have any branded material on today. It's just a different day. Today, that's all. It'll be back next week with the hat, t-shirt, the whole works, the whole nine. All right, thank you for joining me. Today, we are talking about humility, something that is very simple to do, and at the same time, something very difficult to do, to attain. Many people would like to think that they're humble, and people do have a certain amount of humility with certain things at certain times. It's hard to come across someone who's always humble. But of course, we're going to have to kick this off with the definition of humility. The definition of humility is a modest or low view of one's own importance or humbleness. To help out, some synonyms here: modesty, humbleness, modestness, meekness, lack of pride, lack of vanity, diffidence, unassertiveness. Now, the synonym lack of pride is not just basically thinking of not having pride in yourself or pride of what you do. No, there's too much pride, pridefulness in yourself. You think a little too much and too highly of yourself. You have that, you don't have any room for humility whatsoever. Now, like I said before, this is something that's very easy. It's very simple. Humility is very simple. One of the simplest, you could say lowest of things, not low in a very negative manner, but low as far as you just take yourself out of the equation as much as possible. Where you're giving of yourself, you're not really holding back the good stuff, or you're only reserving it for specific people or specific times. You're reserving it. It is everything you have for the sake of someone else's well-being, or just something else such as bigger than you. It takes a lot of strength to be humble. As much of yourself you take out of the equation, as much people would take advantage of you, as much people may think that you are weak for being humble. Heard the term before, you're just too nice. That shouldn't even be a thing. I can understand being naive, yes. Even too forgiving, that's part of humility. Shouldn't be such a thing as too forgiving, even though people do take advantage. So you do have to have lines, you have to have boundaries drawn so people don't take advantage and abuse your humility, because humility is something very valuable. Again, a modest or low view of one's own importance. It goes a lot more deeper than that too. Unfortunately, how we are in society, we are in America, I am in New York, Brooklyn. There are plenty of humble people out there, plenty of them. A lot of people are not humble. A lot of times you will get walked all over because everyone else is in a rush. There's a frenzy out there in this world. There's so much people just wanting to get ahead of everyone else. There's no room for humility, even though you may, in any other circumstance, be humble, be willing to possibly let other people get in line in front of you, or get in front of you in traffic, or might be a great sale somewhere, or even a giveaway, whatever the case is. There's going to be people out there that's going to be willing to give their spot or whatever else they have for the sake of someone else. But majority of us, we're not going to think about that too tough. I always state before, there's a lot of people who are casualty of not enough humility. There's a lot of people who do it. You don't really hear about them because they're not celebrated. When we hear of leaders, we think of people who just take whatever it is by the reins and to steer it based on their vision or based on their prowess. You can steer without force. You always hear me talk about dominion and domination. Domination's force is the more extreme, or even the abusive version of dominion. With dominion, you are going out your way, or you're making sure that everything and everyone around you is good. Take your own time to make sure everything is in a good spot. I'm going to take this excerpt from a website. Leaders are more powerful when they are humble. This was taken from the WashingtonPost.com circa 2016. 3 years ago. At least now, anyways, when I'm recording. Leaders are definitely more powerful when they were humble. Now, many people think you have to be a leader, you have to be forceful. You might have to be. We would get the idea that leaders would have to be full of bravado. I mean, you can have your own swagger, a certain amount of bravado, but, a lot of people they're empty drums. I like to use that term. A lot of noise, but they're empty inside. Because once you actually uncover what they're about, you would understand that they're not really full of anything but just talk. It's good to talk, but you have to have substance behind it. You have to have example behind it as well. When you have humility, you are more than willing to analyze everyone, what they need, like I said before, and try your best to fit them into a position or put them into a position where they will be their best. Many people don't have time for that because in this world is so full of negative energy. Negative energy because we are thrown off. Our value is in making money, trying to pay our bills, trying to get out of debt, trying to get ahead, trying to get enough time at work so we could spend time away from work on vacation or whatever. Again, always a rush to do something, to go somewhere, especially in the big cities. And New York City is a big and busy, world-renowned city for having a lot of attitude and not known for its humility whatsoever. And people actually, they champion that. And that's where we're at. People champion being brash. People champion being impatient. People champion being the first one to run up in line to get something, to go get it, because there's so much other people trying to get it too. And that should not be. Which is why it's known as not being a friendly place. There are a lot of people here. A lot of businesses, of course, businesses want to be friendly with you. But they are friendly people, but New York is not known for that. Unfortunately, like most of America is not known for that. And there are a lot of places where they are very modest, kind people. Been to many different places in this country and a lot of beautiful places, especially when you get away from New York City. Humility can be very difficult to do, like I said. Again, with all the negative and crazy and chaotic energy around, with everyone trying to get ahead, people forget how simple it is just to say, thank you, hold the door open. What can I do to help you? And be genuine with it, It's something about making a change with your time and your energy and your thought and your ear. To give that, to lend that to someone. Make a bond. I'm going to borrow a piece of a sermon from a now past pastor, Miles Monroe. One of his teachings, a lot of great teachings he has. One of the many people I listen to and absorb from and actually resonate with. When you speak, it's like spinning a web, a string of web. You say, hey, how you doing? Hi. That's one transaction of interaction with someone. You engage. One web is spun. Keep it simple. The more you interact with people, the more of a bond webs are spun. When you give your time and you're genuine about it, Because, people say time is money. Most valuable thing is time. Problem is we always look to equate things to money all the time. That's the problem. The biggest thing that we should value, two of the biggest things to value is time and human, well, not even just human existence for everything. Life. Time and life. Not the Time Life magazines or the Time Life music classics. Time and life are the two things that we should always focus on. That should be our paramount focus. When you actually spend time to talk to people, people remember you for that. When you're genuine about it, people remember you for the time that you've given out of your day. People remember when you do things for them and not really looking for anything in return, even though people may say, hey, you didn't have to drive me around town, or thanks for helping me with this. People remember these things. And there'll be times where you would even forget if you are that type of person, but people don't forget. There is value in that. There is value in helping people. And that's what it's supposed to be. And a reflection, unfortunately, in a lot of parts of this world, in this country, in this city, it's a lot of people who are in need, who stay in need because we're not humble enough to give our time and our focus. We're focused on making car payments, paying off bills, getting out of debt, problems in relationships, trying to figure out what our next best move is, just being discontent with our jobs or our lives, livelihoods, whatever it is. Have so much other problems that take up space. Don't have room to be humble. Use the analogy that I like. Closed fist is being prideful. Closed fist looks like it's aggression, right? Can't get anything in because it's closed. Can't get anything in here. And anything that is in there, there's no room for anything else to be there at all or to grow. Closed. You can't lend a helping hand with this, like give you a lending fist. And you can't accept a helping hand. You can't accept anything more. This is all you got. Where on the other hand, literally, take this as being humble. You're open-minded. You're open to suggestions, open to different types of changes that you can possibly encounter in your life. You can receive help, receive new things. It's also a gesture of friendship. Hey, how you doing? Hey, it's my handshake. How you doing? As opposed to this. It's aggression. I understand you say black power. Yes, power, right. But talking about humility here and pride. You could also accept a helping hand. You can give and extend a helping hand. You could actually help do things with this open hand where there's not much you could do with the fist. It's strong, yes. It's compact, yes. You could do damage with it, yes. But you could do so much more. Being open and humble towards people. Getting help, giving help. Doing things, allowing things to be done for you. That's a beautiful analogy that I like to have, the closed fist, open hand. It's terrible that so many people need our help. It's terrible how much help that we all need, but we're too closed up to really accept it. We're too proud to say, I'm failing at something. You have to have humility to understand who you are and what's going on in your life, to accept help, to accept, I can't do this. I can't do this on my own. I'm doing so much things wrong. A lot of times we wait till things get too far, broken down. I'm one of those people too. You feel you have to carry a certain facade. Again, that's part of being prideful. Having a facade that you have it together, look a certain way, have certain types of clothes, speak a certain way. Can't let anybody know I got problems in the house. Can't let anybody know that I'm having problems in the job. Can't have anyone know I'm having financial problems. And this is the majority of us. All of us are having all these similar problems. But we're too prideful to really accept that, one, to even admit that to someone else, probably outside of our circle. Yeah, everybody doesn't need to know your business, yes. But then you have to understand you need help. You gotta recognize you need help. You can't do everything. You're messing up, it's okay. You may have to tighten up on some things, change some things around, or just keep pushing forward. It's not the end of the world. You're not the only one with financial problems. You're not the only one with debt. You're not the only one who has relationship problems. You are not the only one that is going through things. You're not the only one who needs help. You need to recognize humility goes a long way. Humility is understanding that, yes, you are not perfect. Yes, there are bigger things going on around you. Yes, there are other people. Even though you may not have the money or even all the time in the world, you can help people. Again, talking to someone is free. Listening to someone is free. And these are qualities that we all should have. And I strongly believe everyone has the potential to be a leader. We're all supposed to be leaders. We have strengths in certain things. We can help empower people. We can help uplift people. We can help motivate people in our own specific ways. Is everyone a leader quality? No, maybe not at certain points in their life, or people never get the chance to develop. But people who are in leadership positions, you should always look to improve things. Improve everyone around you as much as you possibly can. Improve the situation as much as you possibly can. Not for your own personal gains, because you want to have that foresight, that long-range vision to say, okay, things may not happen while I'm here in the driver's seat, but let me at least get the wheels in motion to help other people. Things may suck right now, but let me at least start trying to lay some sort of foundation so people who come behind me or come on board while I'm here can have an opportunity to not go through the suck like I am right now. Or let me see, this person's having issues here. Let me try to see what's going on. What are their strengths? I got to know what their strengths are. Maybe where I have them as a leader, like in a workplace, even home or wherever, I'm not focusing on their strengths. I know what I may want them to do or what I think they feel they should do, but that may be just agitating their weakness. Some people may not be good at numbers, but you got them working in the accounting department or payroll department, when they probably should be somewhere else. Probably with people, dealing with people, interacting with people. You have to help people out. And the more you help people out, the more you focus, you're able to look past yourself. Humility as a leader. And look at people for what they need, what they are. They can build a better world around you. And everyone's at that point where they're comfortable with you as a humble leader, where they're confident in you as a humble leader because you took yourself, your anger, or whatever out the equation. Let me focus on you however I can. People remember that. If you're a prick, you're always shouting, you get angry quickly, people are going to remember that too. They're not going to want to deal with you. People are going to be closed around you because you're closed. Now you got a whole bunch of fists all around the place. What does that look like? Aggression. Yes, you could easily argue that everyone walking around with open hands, someone's going to get slapped. No, it's not a slap competition. It's like, hey, I'm here to help. Literally, I'm here to help. Hey, I need help. Hey, how you doing? Big difference. Because if you're always like this and everyone else around you is like this, no one has any room for growth, for anything to get in there. Just aggression. Open up yourself. Be frank with people. Even though if people get you upset, it's for everyone's benefit. When you're raising children, you have to be humble. I have children. Anyone who has children, been around children, can know they are very challenging. Especially when they get older and they feel they know a little bit of life and they're trying to challenge you. It's going to happen sometimes. Patience and humility definitely is needed, especially when they're younger. The younger, the better. They need care. Growing flowers or trees. You have to have patience. You have to be humble, actually, because you can't rush the process. You can't say, I want apples, plant a seed, and expect a tree to be up tomorrow. You got to respect the process, so you're forced to be humble for the process. You have to understand what the process is, and then just, you know what? You know what's going to happen during each step, then trust the process. Got to humble yourself to it. Can't have it no other way. If you have a goal, set your mind on it, then you have to humble yourself to the process, and you're going to have dedication and consistency. That's humility. It's dedication and being consistent with it. That's a part of humility that we don't get. It's not a form of weakness because people think that you get rolled over. It's very essential to life as it is. As I said before, time and life are the two most paramount things. I mean, that's all there is actually to it. Spend your time wisely. Use your time wisely. Build yourself. Build others around you. Build the world around you properly. And focus on life. Things are going to happen along the way. How are you going to handle that? With anger? Closed-mindedness? Are you going to know it's what it is? Be humble and chill. Got to chill. And most of us don't know how to chill, especially in this country. I spoke about divisiveness and distractions, one of my past podcasts, because people aren't humble, because they're too busy looking out for their clique or their own beliefs or their own desires. They're not really caring about anybody else. Again, there shouldn't be anybody homeless, especially in this country. As much wealth as we boast, as high as our consumerism is, that means, okay, we got extra money to buy all this other stuff. And that means that there should be no one wanting for a home, for food, for clothing, for a place to actually get a proper education, for medical coverage, anything. We have so much. We should be able to give something back to someone. I have a laptop that many people would love to have. I have a microphone. Okay, got the pop filter going on. Got the shock mount. You know, I have a camera here. Have access to a fantastic studio. That is not cheap. I may not be there all the time for a food pantry, or I may not be there all the time to actually give a lending hand for people who may need handiwork or anything like that. But at least I'm here, talking. My words, if it affects one person in a positive manner, I'm good. But I'm going to keep doing it every day, every week. Have to focus on the right things and the proper things and to humble yourself. One of my t-shirts that I have, one of my branded t-shirts while I sport going forward, is humble yourself or be humbled. I was told that sounds so aggressive. It's harsh, but that's what it is. Humble yourself. You would much rather humble yourself, take your time to know what you need to do, know your lane, stay in your lane, know your role, and just chill. Rather than you not having any clue or being prideful and then having to be forced to be humble. That is a more humiliating part of the word humility. A lot of people can't take that. But see, you need to think outside of your supposed comfort zone, and you need to go into a place where you're thinking about others than yourself. Bring it down some. Stop jumping in front of people. Stop talking loud. Stop gossiping. You could have helped someone today. You could have held that door open for someone. There's people who actually go through a door and slide in and let the door close, knowing that there's someone behind them. People who do that. I'm pretty sure there's people who will come across this video or podcast that do that themselves. If you do that, you gotta check yourself. Humble yourself before you get humbled. Because someone is not gonna go for it one day. Or all those deeds that you're building up to is gonna collapse on you one day. There ain't gonna be nobody there to blame but yourself or to get you out of it but yourself. You already humble, you low, you chill. You gotta put yourself all over the pedestal because it's a long way from that fall. I'm pretty sure the gist is made already. We're at the 25-minute mark on this. So I'm gonna humbly bow out at this point. Hopefully I had nerve or I made you think of a few things. But anyways, this is Corey Ashley. It's another Brooklyn Baritone podcast. Thank you for joining me in my nice blue shirt with buttons this time. With the bald head, no hat. Talk to you next week, everyone. Be blessed. Walk